Hi there, my name is Polina and I study English with Outcomes Advanced. Welcome aboard. Today we are going to continue working with the book, of course, and Unit 4, Politics. Yes, Politics. I'm sorry. And I know that it's been like a week since we last had a lesson. I'm sorry for that, but actually I'm having much on right now in my life. And it's not particularly like problems going one after another. No, I have like unstable life, and it seems to me that I am so used to stable life, stable schedule, stable water pressure in the tap. Everything was stable before we moved. So, but now everything in my life, like it seems that I am a teenager that lives on his own for the first time, but which is not true, in fact. But for some reason, life or parents or circumstances have always helped me somehow. And I've always been in great conditions of living and great conditions of working. So I always had a lot of students coming like at least once a week and so on. But now I have two main problems: unstable schedule. So my students are ill, are going abroad at times, go abroad at times. And problem number two is that we have so weak water pressure in the tap, so I can't switch on the washing machine. I can't wash the clothes. I can't wash the dishes at times, like at once. So I need to wash them and wait for some time for water to come to the tube, for the pressure to go up, you see, and only then I can soak it, like, yeah. So clean it till the end, you see. Oh, sorry for that. And can you imagine? I've been an online tutor since, I don't remember even since 2020, I think, since the pandemic. But now I have to, and I actually did. So I've returned to the school where I started my professional career in 2015. So I've come there. Can you imagine that? I came there because I now live not far from them. And I asked for several classes to give to me. And actually, I don't know, it's a miracle or a coincidence, you can name it as you wish, but they told me. So a boss met me that day, and she told me that they were seeking for a teacher for a particular group of students. So I now have this group twice a week. And then yesterday, one of my group mates, ex-group mates, texted me wanting to have me as a teacher for also one group of hers, because she's got a school, her own English school, so she needs a teacher for one lesson once a week. I'm sorry. So now I have 3 additional lessons offline. Wow. Yeah. So this is what I'm having now in my life. What about you? How are your things going? How is your life going? I hope you're fine there. I hope you're feeling great. Your schedule is stable. Your preparation for the exam is like smooth, yeah, and like comfortable. Yeah, I see. Okay, okay. Maybe the weather also influences my mood somehow. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm just away to, let me see the word. Capricious? Okay, maybe I'm away to capricious. Maybe. But it's just the way I am, and this is just the way I feel right now, and I wanted to share it before we go into the book. Now we are ready to check our home task. Actually, it was to learn the second anecdote, the second joke by heart, and be ready to tell it. Okay, and some exercises in workbook, but I didn't do them, unfortunately. Maybe I can do it right now. No, I don't think so. So I'll do it for the next time. Okay, I'm going to do it for the next lesson. Okay, so as for the second joke, so a politician goes and visits one of his counterparts in another country, and they're going round the garden in his house. So the place is beautiful. There is a heated swimming pool, beautiful ground around, lovely lawn, a tennis court, and there is a big 3-story house with 6 bedrooms. It's fantastic. So the visiting politician says, like, so they must pay a lot more here to in comparison to what we pay in our country. The counterpart says, his colleague says that he laughs and says, well, look at that brand new motorway over there. The visiting politician looks into the distance and spots a brand new 6-lane motorway with a few cars speeding along it. He turns back to his colleague, who simply laughs, winks, and pats his pockets. And then the light bulb comes on in the politician's head, and he says, like, say no more. Anyway, a few months later, the politician's counterpart returns the visit and comes to his colleague's house. The place is also very beautiful. He is amazed when he sees a 4-story house with 10 bedrooms. It's fantastic. He's speechless. There are there is a swimming pool, a sauna, jacuzzi, a Rolls Royce, and a Ferrari parked outside. And eventually he says, but I thought that MPs are badly paid here. You told me, yeah. But the politician laughs and says, look at that new motorway over there. So the counterpart looks into the distance, scans the horizon, but there is no new motorway over there. So he and the politician just laughs, winks, and pats his pocket. I did it. Oops, I did it again. Okay, yeah, so this is the joke. Cheers. I hope I did it well enough. I think, yeah. And now we are going to continue working with listening part. So I'm going to share the screen, of course, as usual. Hello. Sorry. So last time we listened to 5 people talking about events from exercise 9. So speaker 1 talked about a talent show vote. Yeah, speaker 2 talked about a strike ballot. Speaker 3 talked about a referendum. Speaker 4 an opinion poll, and speaker 5 an election for a student council. So we started doing the second part, listening for details, but unfortunately I didn't manage to finish because I need the second and maybe the third listening, actually. Okay, so before listening, let's study again the things we need to match. Okay, so I will erase everything for us to feel comfortable. Okay, so which person out of these 5 speakers mentions a broken promise? Which talks about vote rigging? Which talks about voter turnout? Which speaker talks about standing for parliament? expresses surprise at something, and is defending an unpopular decision. Okay, let's listen to it and decide.
Track 13. 1. I used to like watching Star Quality, but since this scandal has erupted, I've lost interest in it. This story leaked out that they were encouraging people to phone in even though they'd already decided the result. They were manipulating things so that one guy didn't get voted off because it helped the programme's ratings if they had a kind of hate figure. I might not have minded so much if the calls were free, but they're making a fortune on them. 2.
We only called a vote because negotiations were going absolutely nowhere, and despite the massive support we've received from our members, the management is persisting with a ridiculous offer that will basically result in a drop in the value of wages next year. If they hadn't been so reluctant to negotiate, we would not be taking this action now. We understand the public's anger and frustration, we share it, but the blame for this dispute lies firmly with the train company, not with us.
3. I'm totally in favour of a vote on the issue. The way the current system works, some parties get a seat with only 100,000 votes, while others who poll more than twice that don't get any. In the run-up to the election, the new party had promised to hold one if they got into power, but in the event all that talk has faded away. I guess if they hadn't won a landslide victory, they'd be keener to bring about electoral reform, but I truly believe the vast majority of the electorate still wants to see a change and would vote yes, whatever their reservations. 4.
To be honest, I suspect that if they'd called on another day, I wouldn't have taken part. But I was at a bit of a loose end when the researcher called, and so had some time to spare. It took about half an hour, and I have to admit I quite enjoyed it, moaning about the government. Mind you, when the results were published in the paper, I was a bit taken aback. It seems I'm in a small minority. People must be mad.
5.
It's easy to be cynical and to say that it changes nothing, that it's all just done to create the illusion of fairness and inclusivity, but I can assure you that simply isn't the case here. Given that relatively few people vote these days, we feel it's essential for young people to learn that democracy can contribute to positive change. Apart from deciding things like the end-of-term trips, pupil reps can also decide on policy. It's unlikely we would have abolished uniforms if we didn't have a body like this. It isn't compulsory to vote, but nearly everyone does.
Okay, as you can see, I failed again. I don't know, for me, it's difficult. Really, it's hard to hear. Maybe I need to do it one more time. I'm sorry for that, really, but I'm honest. I'm absolutely honest. Strike ballot. Talent show. Okay. Is it about vote reading on the talent show or about what? Referendum. I hear nothing about referendum there. Opinion poll. Okay.
Track 13. 1. I used to like watching Star Quality, but since this scandal has erupted, I've lost interest in it. This story leaked out that they were encouraging people to phone in even though they'd already decided the result. They were manipulating things so that one guy didn't get voted off because it helped the programme's ratings if they had a kind of hate figure. I might not have minded so much if the calls were free, but they're making a fortune on them. 2.
We only called a vote because negotiations were going absolutely nowhere, and despite the massive support we've received from our members, the management is persisting with a ridiculous offer that will basically result in a drop in the value of wages next year. If they hadn't been so reluctant to negotiate, we would not be taking this action now. We understand the public's anger and frustration, we share it, but the blame for this dispute lies firmly with the train company, Not with us.
3. I'm totally in favor of a vote on the issue. The way the current system works, some parties get a seat with only 100,000 votes, while others who poll more than twice that don't get any. In the run-up to the election, the new party had promised to hold one if they got into power, but in the event all that talk has faded away. I guess if they hadn't won a landslide victory, they'd be keener to bring about electoral reform, but I truly believe the vast majority of the electorate still wants to see a change and would vote yes, whatever their reservations. 4.
To be honest, I suspect that if they'd called on another day, I wouldn't have taken part. But I was at a bit of a loose end when the researcher called and so had some time to spare. It took about half an hour, and I have to admit a small minority. People must be mad.
5.
It's easy to be cynical and to say that it changes nothing, that it's all just done to create the illusion of fairness and inclusivity, but I can assure you that simply isn't the case here. Given that relatively few people vote these days, we feel it's essential for young...
Okay, let's check this one because I desperately need it. Oh, I'm sorry. Is it like teacher's book? Yeah, sorry. Let's see, number 4. I'm sorry, I should have opened it in advance, of course. Yeah, I'm sorry. No laughing matter with, listening, clutching his back. No. So the task is, I'm sorry, it's a listening, exercise 9. So, at here we are. I'm sorry. 31544. What? F is 2. Unpopular decision. Why? Actually, he said that speaker 4 said that. Surprise. Okay. But speaker 4 said that he represented minority. You can easily hear it.
For an hour, and I have to admit I quite enjoyed it, moaning about the government. Mind you, when the results were published in the paper, I was a bit taken aback. It seems I'm in a small minority. People must be mad.
Okay, but okay, he was surprised, but he at the same time. Did he defend an unpopular decision? No, he didn't. Okay, and speaker 2. Let's see the script, okay? Because I want to work it out. I want to see what I missed, okay? I hope you are not like bored, rigid here. But if you are, I'm sorry for that. Just switch off the video. I'm sorry. Okay, and this. So let's study what it was here. I used to like watching Star Quality, but since this scandal has erupted, I've lost interest in the story. Leaked out that they were encouraging people to phone. Okay, encouraging, manipulating. What proves that it's voter rigging? Yeah. They were manipulating, they encouraged people, and the calls weren't free, so it adds to this feeling of rigging because it's connected with money, yeah? Making a fortune on them. This is what rigging called, yeah. Okay, London. Oh, well, sorry. Well, with that one, I'm okay. Is defending an unpopular decision. We only called a vote because negotiations were going absolutely nowhere, and despite the massive support we've received from our members, The ridiculous offer that would result in a drop in the value of wages next year. If they hadn't been so reluctant to negotiate, we would not be taking this action now. We understand the public anger is frustration. We share it, but the blame for this dispute lies firmly with the train company, not with us. Where is an unpopular decision? Are they opposed to, or opposed? No, not opposed, or opposed. I'm sorry. Okay. Opposed. Completely different. No, this is not. This isn't what I wanted to say. Are they? Are. Sorry. Как это? Противопоставлены. Counter. Okay. Resist. Okay, I was right. I'm sorry. So are they opposed to the public opinion? I mean, this we is opposed to public, right? That's why they are defending an unpopular decision, because public is a majority and automatically they opposed. Okay, I see. Mentions a broken promise here, yeah, but here what they had promised to hold one if they got into power, but that talk has faded away. So here is the answer. Expresses surprise at something. Okay. His intonation spoke to himself spoke for himself, yeah. But I was confused so much with this. I'm in a small minority. People must be mad. Yeah, I was a bit taken aback. So it showed us the correct variant. In talks about voter turnout. I was fine with that, but anyway, let's see what there is. It's easy to be cynical. It changes, but I can, given that relatively few people so vote these days. So this is about turnout. Turnout is a particular number of voters. Usually. Democracy, yes. Besides things. Oh, sorry. What is rep? Public reps. You know this? I'm sorry. Rep. Public rep. Someone who travels to different places trying to persuade people to buy their company's products or services. Really? Pupil reps can also decide on policy. Other meanings. Someone who speaks or does something officially for another person or group, like representatives. Yeah. Reps, representatives. Okay. Today is absolutely crazy day for me, really, because I don't know why shit is happening or has been happening all the day. I hope it will end right after the lesson is recorded. I don't know, but I hope. That's it as for listening part. I hope you did it better than me. So yeah, it was a really tough task for me, really. I don't know why, but just because. And we proceed finally to grammar. We'll start today and continue next time, alrighty. So conditionals 2. Let's study the rules one more time. Why not? Maybe for someone it would be useful. Okay. So conditionals can be used to talk about general past truths. Okay, yeah, imagined events in the past, yeah. Imagined events in both the past and the present. Okay, yeah, especially if the conditional is mixed type, yeah. Match the sentences from listening A. Each of the functions in the box, then working paste, you can compare your IDs. Okay, you are my pair, my immortal where it helped the program's rating. Where are the functions in the box? Ah, okay. It helped the program's ratings if they had a kind of hate figure. Three. I might not have minded so much if the calls were free. I didn't work with these conditionals in English anytime, actually. I'm used to explaining these things in Russian, so I'm sorry if I'm not right. I might not have minded so much if the calls were free, but they weren't free, and she had minded. Yeah, so this is about imagined events in the past. If they hadn't been so reluctant, we wouldn't be taking the section now. 3, because now, yeah, if they'd called on another day, I wouldn't have taken part. It's about past only, right? It's unlikely we would have abolished uniforms if we didn't have a body like this. General past truths. Let's check it, right? 1, 3, 3, 2, 3. Okay, I'm nowhere here. 1, 3, 3, and 2, 3. God. Wonderful. And I'm a teacher here, but I'm a teacher to myself. So anyway, yeah, 1, 1, 3, 3. Yeah, like this. 1, 3, 3. Okay, let's work it out. It helped the program ratings if they had a kind of hate figure. General past truths. Okay, I might not have minded if the calls were free, but in general, yes, they are not free even in the present, right? That's why it's like mixed one, right? If it's unlikely we wouldn't have abolished, would have abolished uniforms if we didn't have a body like this. Didn't have. I see. Again, mixed type. Okay, so we'll continue working with this next time. No exercises on practice for practice. No exercises on conditionals too yet, but we will have them next time. As for the next home task, I think we'll have a text to read. Yeah, keeping the balance of power. No, listening. Yeah, listening. I think, yeah, listening on page 24. I'm going to share the screen to show you what we're going to do. Okay, so this exercise listening. 2.4, 2.3, this part, listening. That's it. That's it. Okay, I hope you don't have any questions. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your attention. Have a nice day. See you next time. I don't know when exactly, but see you anyway. Have a nice day. Goodbye.